there, budget peeps. How are you all doing? I've been nominated by the lovely Esther at My Money Matters to do the 40 questions. So I enjoy doing engraving art, which is this engraving art. I also enjoy doing crystal art. So I thought, oh, what shall I do while I'm talking to you? So I thought I'd do this little picture while I'm talking to you guys. Right, let's start with these 40 questions. The first one is, do you have any pets? So, yes, I do. I have Magic and Kobe, and there they are, loving each other. Kobe's a Siberian Husky who can actually talk. He says, I love you. And in his Scooby-Doo voice, he says, I love you, Daddy. And I want to see my mommy. He's also learnt a few swear words, which is not good. He's learnt to say no, and he's learnt to say come on. And when he wants to go outside, he says yes. So yeah, he's got a few little words in his vocabulary. And no, and he's a bit of a character. Yes, he loves to cuddle up to me on the sofa. So yeah, my baby. We've had him since he was a puppy, and he's now 7 years old. We've also got Magic. She's came to us as a kitten, and she's my baby. She's my number one, really. I love Kobe to bits, but I love Magic. Because I am more of a cat person than a dog person, I must admit. But Stewie is a dog person, so we've compromised and we've had one of each. And thank God that they love each other. Look at that, isn't that lush? Aww. So there we go. That's my Magic, my black cat, and Kobe, Siberian Husky. Second question, are you in a relationship? Yes, I am in a relationship. Let's try, I don't know whether I can multitask, but let's give it a go. My husband's name is Stuart, Stewie, or Hubby, as I refer to him a lot of the time. Don't know if I like this. There's different scratches you can use for doing this, so it's finding the right one really, and I'm working on it, but it does take a hell of a lot of concentration. I met Stuart by choosing him out of the local newspaper in the Heart to Heart column. It was Lonely Heart column. Picked up the paper one day. I was a single mom, and I thought, you know what, it's time I got back into a relationship. I was missing being hugged so much. I mean, it's lovely to be hugged by your kids, but I miss being hugged. So I picked up a paper, and I saw Stewie in there. Didn't know his name, of course. He just put knight in shining armour looking for his damsel in distress. And I was definitely a damsel in distress with 3 young boys, all under the age of 7, running rings around me. So I wrote to him, and we started writing to each other for quite some time. And eventually we met up, and I think it was in the January we had our first date. That would have been 96, I think, 1996, in the January. And by the March, he'd asked me to marry him, which was a big thing because I'd just come out of a 12-year relationship, married 7 years in that relationship. So I was like, oh, do I really want to jump in so soon? I was a bit too quick for me and all the rest of it. And I said, you know, can't you wait a bit longer? Can we not have maybe a long engagement or something like this? You know, because we were talking about, after he asked me to marry him, of course, I said I'd like a long engagement because obviously I didn't want to get married so quickly. I wanted to make sure everything was working first. And he said, it's the most romantic thing. He said, I've waited for you all my life. Why should I wait any longer? Because he really wanted to get married quite quickly. So within 18 months of writing to him, we were married, which for me is very, very fast. So yeah, he moved in with me. We went on our first date in the January, and he moved in with me in the June, and we've been together 20 odd years, and we've my memory, and we've just celebrated our 25th wedding, our silver wedding anniversary, so it can't be all that bad, can it? And he had, or rather he has, a daughter and a stepson when we met, and I had 3 children, so we conglomerated the family, and therefore we had 5 children under the age of 7, which was 4 boys and a girl. And yeah, fabulous, you know, absolutely amazing. He asked me to marry him while we were away on in my mum and dad's caravan, actually. And he come outside, and I don't know how he did it, but the stars fell from the heavens for him that day, because they were so low in the sky, and the sea was lapping on the beach. And he knelt at the bottom of the caravan steps, just like I was at the queen, you know, the princess at the top of the tower. And he said, "Marry me." And it was so romantic. It was just like, oh, I'm actually filling up with tears. So, oh, there you go. There's the story. I'm moving on for a cry. Okay, so this is going to be a long video. I might have to do this in 2 parts. I'm not sure I've got the storage capacity. But here we go. So, do you drink alcohol? The answer to the question is I used to, but now my illness prevents me from drinking alcohol because I am alcohol intolerant. Makes me feel quite poorly. So I save myself for Christmas, where I have a tiny tot of Tia Maria in a coffee. So that's about my limit. Do you believe in God? Yes, most definitely I believe in God. I believe that, you know, yeah. I most definitely believe in God. I have a very strange story to tell you on that aspect, and you might think I'm absolutely crazy, but I've actually seen Jesus. And I know that sounds absolute crockers, bonkers, and all the rest of it, but my son was with me at the time, and we were in my husband's car, and we were driving home, and I actually saw Jesus walking in the clouds, and it was amazing. He was so tall, and he had the robe on, and he had you know, you could see his footprints like he was walking in snow as he walked away. Both me and my son saw him from quite a distance as we were travelling down the street. We begged my husband to stop the car. We jumped out of the car, and we both stood there in absolute awe, looking at Jesus walking in the clouds. And I know that sounds freaky, and I know it sounds weird, and I know 1,000,001 of you are never going to believe me, but that's the honest truth from my perspective and my son's perspective. I think my son was about 19 at the time when we saw Jesus, and I will never deny. Sorry about that, I had a phone call. Trying to get through the day. My sons are so close to me. They're grown up now, and they ring me 2-3 times a day each and text me and whatnot, and I love it, and I love speaking to them. And as you know, I like crystal art, so he's just rang me up to tell me he's found a load of crystal art and he's picking some up for me. So that's lovely. So yeah, back to my story of Jesus. And yeah, as I was saying, I will never deny. If anybody asked me about that, I would never deny seeing Jesus, even though I might be taken away to a mental institution. Yeah, I can't deny it because I saw it, and I can't deny I didn't. And it was the most wonderful experience I've ever had. So yeah, that is, and obviously that reinforced my belief in God, and, you know, there's more to this world than bricks and mortar, and, you know, what we can see and do. There is a spiritual realm, and there's so much more than what we understand. So there you go, that's my take on it. Hot dogs or cheeseburger? It's definitely going to be hot dogs. I thought about that long and hard, but I can't resist boiled onions on a bun. I'd just have the onions, actually, boiled onions with some mushrooms rather than the actual hot dog on the bun. And I love the what's they call it, the American mustard, the yellow mustard mixed with the ketchup. That's lush. Favourite food is definitely, come on girls, and boys I suppose, it's chocolate. It's got to be, innit? You know, all types, any'll do. Although I'm not overly keen on Caramac chocolate, you know, or white chocolate's not so, but dairy milk, oh my goodness me, now we're talking, with a few fruit and nuts in it. Yum yum yum. My mouth's watering now. What do you want? Oh, so what do you drink in the morning? Oh, well, it's got to be coffee, hasn't it? Definitely a coffee girl. I used to drink green tea all the time because I was told it could help me lose weight. I drunk that for years, but guess what? It didn't. So I'm back on the coffee. I need that hit in the morning to sort of get me going. So yeah, I do love my coffee, and the favourite coffee I drink is Nescafe Gold. That is my ultimate favourite coffee. Can you do push-ups? 100 push-ups? Oh my gosh, definitely not. My illness prevents me from doing any exercise at all because it is dangerous. So yeah, I'm not allowed to do any of it because my body can't create energy like your body maybe can. And I have a certain amount of energy to get me through the day, a bit like a mobile phone battery. And if I use it willy-nilly and it runs out, or it depletes very, very quickly, my body will start shutting down. So I have to ration my energy throughout the day. And some days I actually don't get out of bed because I'm so exhausted, and I have to stay in bed because parts of my body has stopped working. I usually, when I relapse, I usually lose the right hand side of my body, so I can't move my arm or my leg. But I have been, at my worst, I was paralysed from the neck down and I couldn't speak. So that was my worst scenario, and I was like that for quite a number of months. And my husband gave up work, Stewie gave up work to look after me. And he's been golden, you know. So yeah, because of my illness, I am not allowed to, in fact, I'm only allowed to go upstairs once a day. That is it. So, and considering we've got a downstairs toilet, that's very difficult. So they're talking about putting wet rooms in and stair lifts and all the rest of it. So we've got to face all that. But yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment regarding exercise. Favourite season, moving on. My favourite season is torn between spring and autumn. Autumn because I was born in the autumn and I love the changing colours of the leaves and, you know, everything sort of like going to sleep and hibernating, and the chestnuts come in and Christmas come in and the bonfires at bonfire night and the fireworks, and I love all of that. And I love, you know, Halloween. I suppose I shouldn't really love Halloween, but I, you know, as a child we always carved pumpkins and dressed up and, you know, trick or treat and all that kind of thing. And as I believe in a spiritual realm, I believe that our ancestors are there. So therefore, Halloween for me is a celebration of remembering our ancestors, remembering the people who've passed before us. So I love Halloween. I love the dark nights drawing in and the candles and the coziness of it all. But my motto is wake me up when the daffodils are here, woohoo! Because it's spring. Spring is my favourite time of year. It's when everything comes back to life. The bunnies are born and the lambs are born, and, you know, all these little birdies are born, and oh, I love spring. And the daffodils coming into, you know, rows and rows and rows of yellow daffodils everywhere. It's like, oh wow. It gives me new energy and new vigour for the rest of the year. It's like it gets me through. And when I'm having my dark days in winter, because I do suffer with SAD, as they call it, where you know you're not getting enough light and you sort of get a bit down in the winter. When the daffodils arrive, all of that is forgotten. It's gone, and I'm like, wow, here we go, another spring. All the little leaves are coming on the trees, and it's like, yeah. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you have a phone call, isn't it? It messes all your video up, but hey ho. Where was I? So I've done my favourite season. My next is my favourite hobby. So my favourite hobby is crystal art. I absolutely love doing that. I also like a lot of different things. I like writing songs. I like doing etch arts. What else do I like doing? I like colouring in. Not that I'm very good at colouring in, to be honest. I always go over the lines. But at the moment, it's got to be crystal art is at the top of the list. It may change in a few months' time when I get bored of it, because I do get bored very quickly, and I do move on from one thing to another. I tend to jump. But at the moment, it's definitely the crystal art, and I can't wait to see the new ones. My son's picking me up today. Do you have any tattoos? No, I don't. Why don't I have any tattoos? The reason being is I think it was the way I was brought up, to be honest. My mum instilled to me that tattoos are very trashy, and I'm supposed to be a lady, and ladies don't have tattoos and all that kind of thing. And although I personally think that some of them are absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning, I think that some of them are so meaningful. You know, when you have a tattoo to celebrate friendship or a person's life or a child, or, you know, having, you know, your children's date of birth, you know, or how, you know, how heavy they were when they were born, you know, those are the types of things that, you know, the weight they were born at, you think you're going to remember forever. But as you get older, you sort of tend to forget those things. So you've got grandchildren who you're trying to remember their weights they were born at as well, and you get confused with all of them. So yeah, I think there is a place for tattoos, and some of the artwork I've seen is phenomenal. The 3D tattoos are outstanding. So you know, done in the right way and done with the right, you know, picture. Fantastic. I think at the moment though, I am too much of a scaredy cat to have a tattoo because I don't like pain. And they can be quite painful, so they can also be quite addictive. So I think once I started having tattoos, excuse me, I wouldn't stop. So it's probably best I don't start. So there we go. Do you wear glasses? Yes, I do. I wear glasses for reading, and I also am short-sighted, so I wear glasses for driving and watching the television. Most of the time my glasses are on top of my head, like now. But yeah, if I need to see somebody's face or recognise somebody across a room, I have to put them on. So if I'm squinting at you, if you know who I am and I'm squinting at you, that's why. Do you have any phobias or fears? Yes, I absolutely detest the dark. I cannot sleep in the dark. I have to have a night light on, as old as I am. I have emergency lighting all around my house in case there's a power cut. I have, you know, emergency lighting on my handbag in case I'm out and I'm in the dark all of a sudden. I cannot be in the dark. It's as simple as that. I just detest it. I get terrified. I get petrified, in fact. I'm frozen to the spot if it suddenly goes dark. Do you have a nickname? I have many nicknames. My brothers used to call me Moany Minnie, mainly because I used to moan all the time because they wouldn't take me with them when they were going out, meanies. And my dad used to call me Riglo, also Rig Pig. My friends call me Ree. And hubby calls me quite a few different ones that can't be mentioned on here. all very wrong, but hey ho. What is your favourite candy? Moving on swiftly. Obviously I'm a chocoholic and I love chocolate, but if you bought me some sweeties, or candy as they call it in America, it would have to be a gummy type sweet, you know, like a wine gum or gummy bears, or also flumps, that kind of flumpy, marshmallowy type stuff. I love that kind of thing. So yeah, I could sit and eat them all evening. Do you believe in ghosts? Most definitely, I believe in ghosts. I've been on quite a few investigations where what do they call it? Scientific equipment has been used to monitor paranormal activity, and you know, a lot of it can be explained away, but a lot of it can't. Well, some of it can't. So, and it's the some of it that can't. I believe, you know, in ghosts. I haven't physically seen a ghost. However, I do feel things. That when you enter a room, it feels dense or it feels different. I have had experiences of spirits. When my dad passed away especially, you know, I was very susceptible. Obviously I was very distraught when he passed away, but he was with me, and I believe now he's still with me. Every day he pops in, and when he pops in I get this overwhelming smell of TCP. He did die in a hospital, so I was by his bedside when he did die. But yeah, and I'm in the car, and all of a sudden the car fills with TCP, and everybody in the car can smell the TCP. So I'll be in the street or in a room or whatever, and whenever he's around, the TCP is there. So that's how I know it's my dad, and he's checking in on me. So yeah, I've had other experience of spirits as well. And yeah, I believe in the spirit realm, absolutely. So yes, I believe in ghosts. Rain or snow? Now, I love the fresh snow coming on the ground at Christmas, but I like it to go away within a day or two because I am not a snow girl, I'm afraid. It's slippy, it's slushy, it gets dirty after a little while. Beautiful when it's crisp and it's just fallen, and it's romantic when it's falling and all the rest of it. But I'm a rain girl. I love it when it rains. It waters the flowers, it washes the cars, it washes the sand off the cars. It gives, you know, life to the earth, and it replenishes the rivers, and you know, rain does so much good. And I love a thunder and lightning storm, especially, you know, I love listening to the rain if I'm in a tent. I love listening to the rain on the top of a caravan roof. I just love the rain, yeah. So, rain, please. Do you have any piercings? I have my ears pierced. My auntie took me when I was 13. I love my auntie. She's my godmother. And she took me when I was 13 to get my ears pierced because my mum and dad wouldn't allow me to. So she took me behind their back and got my ears pierced, and I've had them pierced, and I'm so grateful to her because I've had so many lovely earrings since then, and I love my ears being pierced. And you know, but my mum refused to take me. She thought I was too young. What is your age? Here we go. I'm 52, which is quite young really. I have a life-limiting illness, so as my age creeps up, it's quite distressing, but I live every day as if, you know, to the fullest, hopefully. I try to be happy every day. The average life expectancy for somebody with my illness is 56, so that means in 4 years I might not be here, or I might be too poorly as the years go on, though, you know, life's going to change for me. Usually because the energy production becomes more and more difficult, and body parts start shutting down, where you end up getting fed through a tube because you lose your swallow, and so. And not to be morbid or anything, life's short, and I keep telling this to everybody I meet. Life is short. You don't know how long you've got. You know, I might live to, you know, till I'm 70. Who knows? It's only statistics. Or I might live till next week and get run over by a bus. Who knows? So therefore, I'm living life every day to the fullest and the happiest that I possibly can. And, you know, in life, don't wait until you're faced with something like I am before you start living. You know, don't exist. Go out there and plan to do things and make it happen. And I'm so grateful to this community because of this community, I can go on cruises, and I can go on wonderful holidays, and I can save for things that, you know, give meaning to my life. So yeah, fantastic. So yeah, that's my age. I'm 52. French fries or onion rings? Definitely onion rings. I you know, oh, I'm not overly keen on chips, to be honest. French fries, you know, they have their place, but if you gave me the choice between onion rings and French fries, it's going to have to definitely be onion rings, especially the fresh onion rings with the, you know, the big fresh onion rings that you get from a restaurant. Oh yes, please. Do you have any children? Yes, I have blood children, blood relatives. I have 3 boys. They've all grown up now, and they've left home. The youngest is 28 and the oldest is 35 this year. And the middle one is, I'm trying to remember, 31 I think the middle one is, or 32. I forget, you know, my memory's rubbish. I look their birthdays up. No, it's 32, that's right. What's your favourite colour? It's cerise pink, definitely. It's been my favourite colour forever. Can you sing? La 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 la. Yes, but some people have said don't bother. And can you whistle? Not so well, but I try. Where were you born? I was born in Birmingham, and I moved to Shropshire when I was 7, so that's where I live now. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have 4 wonderful brothers. 3 are older than me and 1 is younger than me, and I love them all to bits. Can you cook? Wow. When I was younger, I used to cook cakes and cookies and all sorts of things. But now, due to my illness, my memory is really rubbish. So I will start to try to cook things with the help of my hubby, because obviously energy is a problem for me. So chopping and doing and peeling, it's all energy consumption. So anything I can sort of hand off to him to say, can you peel that for me? Can you chop that for me? He does to conserve my energy, because I get very tired very quickly. Peeling a pan of spuds would just wipe me out for the day. So he does that for me. So mixing batter, he would do that for me. He would get all the items in and out of the cupboards for me and help me weigh them out. And he would lift things in and out the cooker for me. And he would also watch over the cooker for me, because I would totally forget the cake is in the oven. And I've done that so many times. I actually went to my uncle's in Tamworth years ago now, and I was baking him one of these ready frozen apple pie things. So we popped it in the, well, I popped it in the oven, and hubby didn't know about it. And we went off to my uncle's thinking I was taking him an apple pie. And when I got to my uncle's house in Tamworth, which is miles away from where I live, I remembered, oh my God, there's an apple pie in the oven. So I'm not allowed to buy the cooker by myself anymore. Can you swim? When I was younger, I loved swimming. My dad used to take me every Sunday. I was a water baby, absolutely loved it. And I did my 1 mile swimming badge. I did all the badges up to the 1 mile, and wow, that really did deplete my energy. I struggled to get out the swimming pool that day, but I was so happy I'd achieved it. But I decided that was it. I've reached my mile. I'm not doing any more swimming badges, but I used to love swimming. However, I am now not allowed to go swimming, and if I do go swimming, because I break the rules, I will spend weeks in bed to pay for it. So you've got to ask yourself, is it really worth it? So when we went on the Iona, I actually did go swimming in the infinity pool. I didn't actually swim, I just bobbed about. And it was only chest high, so I could reach the floor, so I wasn't having to tread water and use a lot of energy. And I sort of hung off my husband a lot of the time as well, so I didn't have to sort of move from one place to another. And I spent the rest of the time in a wheelchair after that, so not good. So no. Although if I had the opportunity to go swimming, I probably would break the rules again, because I do love swimming, but it does cost. It comes at a cost for me, and it could come at the cost of losing my ability to move or talk or sing. So yeah, shower or bath. I love a bath. Again, I'm struggling now to get in and out of the bath because of obviously the energy required. If I have a bath, it takes my whole day away from me, because the bath zaps my energy as well. So a bath is a day's experience for me. So that's why they're talking about putting in a shower room with a shower stall and all the rest of it. So that's another transition, another thing that this crappy illness is taking. But hey ho, such is life. Think of the bright side. Showers are a lot quicker. City or nature? Definitely nature. It's got to be. Oh no, don't give me a city. Don't give me crowds and crowds of people, please, because no. Not something I want to do. Not somewhere I want to be. I like open spaces and nature. So, are you a good friend? I'd have to ask my friends to answer that question. I have had a lot of friends over the years. I'm not very good at keeping in contact due to the fact I get poorly and I spend days or weeks or months in bed. I can be a bit of a pest because I like to go visiting them when I can, when I'm able, because I feel quite lonely and isolated a lot of the time. So I'm like, oh, we haven't met up for a coffee for ages. Shall we have a coffee? And they're like, oh, I'm busy. I'm working. I'm this, I'm that, and the other. And yeah, they've got busy lives. I mean, I don't work, so my life's not so busy. And I do miss being around my friends. I miss going out for drinks and dancing and partying and just prattling around in general. Because all of those things I can't do anymore. And obviously when you've got a friend, they want to go out and do things with you. They want to go to the club or whatever, and they want you to come to their party, you know, they want you to travel with them and so forth. So am I a good friend? Probably not. But I am a loyal friend. You know, if one of my friends turned up, I'm getting emotional. If one of my friends turned up on my doorstep and said, Ree, can you help me? I'd definitely be yes, not a problem. You know, whatever they needed, I'd bend over backwards to help them, not a problem. So, yeah. So I try, and that's all I can do. Yes, that's it. Wipe away the tears and the red eyes, but hey ho. You guys, you're starting me off. Have I broken any bones? When I was a Girl Guide, when I was about 15, my mum said, don't go to Girl Guides tonight because it's too icy and you're going to fall over on the way and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm going. So off I went to Girl Guides, and I went, had a good time. And on the way home, I did slip over and landed on my elbow. I didn't break my arm, but I was taken to the emergency room because I did have an hairline fracture right on my elbow joint, and when it's cold, boy do I feel it. So that's my broken bone story. Obviously not broken. What's your worst pain ever? My worst pain ever is gallstones, and wow, it's excruciating. I've had 3 babies, but the pain of having a baby is nowhere near of the pain of gallstones. Yeah, very excruciating. Do you like to dance? I tell you what, do I like to dance? Yes. When I was younger, I ran 2 dance troupes. One was young girls and one was girls the same age as me. Loved the like Legs and Co on the top of the pops. I don't know if anybody remembers that, where they all danced coordinatedly. And I used to try and copy them with my friends down the street and at school. I love dancing. Every time music comes on, my body just can't stop. That's another reason why I don't tend to go to too many parties, because it's very, you know, as soon as my body starts giving it the old jigging, because, you know, the music's on, I get very tired very quickly. I wish I could dance, and emotional again. It's one of those things that this illness has taken away from me, that I wish it would give me back. But you know, the last dance, romantic dances, I can't do that. I can't stand up to dance. So me and my husband over the years have learnt to finger dance. So when the music is on, we sit there doing this together, because it's the minimum amount of way we can dance. And he makes jokes and we start kissing and hugging, and it brings light to the situation, because I do get upset because I can't dance anymore. But yeah, I love dancing. Camping or hotel? If I wanted to get away from it all and close the world away and just get into nature, it would definitely be camping. However, if I was this is the circumstantial answer to a question. If I was going to somewhere like a restaurant or a theatre, or, you know, out somewhere nice with hubby, then definitely a hotel, because I would not want to go there looking like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I would have to have the pamper session before we went out with the makeup and all the rest of it to make myself look pretty. and feel good and confident before we went out. And I couldn't feel good and confident if I'd been sleeping in a field. So yeah, different reasons, but yeah, if I had the choice to book a camping trip or a hotel trip, I'd probably book a camping trip. Do you think you're weird? Most definitely I am weird. Most definitely. You probably already gathered that from the answers to these questions. But yeah, definitely. How long have you been gardening? Well, again, gardening is something I absolutely love to do, especially during the spring, because that's when you're planting all your little seeds and watching them grow, and it's all beautiful. And when the flowers come, it's like, oh, isn't that lush? And you've got this sense of achievement that you've made this happen. It's a miracle. You know, obviously you didn't make it happen, God did, but it's a miracle. And yeah, I love it. But again, it's something I need a lot of help with. So over the years, hubby's made me raise beds so that I can sit by a raised bed and potter with a little trowel or a little fork to be able to potter with the plants. We bought planting pots so that he can carry them to a table, so I can sit at the table and potter in the pot. And then he takes it away and leaves it to grow, and he'll water it for me and all that kind of thing. But I now have to have a gardener because I can't cut the grass anymore, and I can't do the bushes anymore or do the pruning anymore. But I still love to see it beautiful. So again, this illness has come at a cost. But will I ever give up gardening? Never, never. You know, if I can get a little plant pot and potter, even if it's on a window ledge, it's going to have to be done. And I've been doing that ever since I've been a babby, because my mum is definitely the best gardener in the world. she can make a matchstick grow. What's one of the things you would like to grow in your garden? Well, we've already got fruit trees and fruit bushes, and I love growing vegetables and watching them grow. I love growing flowers. What would I love to grow? It would have to be a combination, actually. I always say flowers in the front and veg in the back. Veg and fruit in the back and flowers in the front. So I love herb gardens and all that kind of thing. And what would you like to grow in your garden? A sense of peace, love, beauty. There you go. What's your growing zone? Well, I had to Google this. And my growing zone is growing zone 7 because I live in the Midlands. So in the UK, I think it's called your hardiness zone. I think that's the way we referred to it. What is your hardiness zone? So ours is 7. So I think that's all my 40 questions finished. And as you can see, I haven't finished my picture. So you can see these pictures take hours and hours and hours to do. But when they're finished, they are so beautiful. I'll leave a couple of pictures of some ones that I've done. And thank you so much, Esther, for nominating me from My Money Matters. And I would like to nominate Budgeting Daddy. I've seen Lucy Luxor do her 40 questions. Gillian, if you've not done it, I think you started it, didn't you, Gillian? So she was Brown Skin Girl, and she's changed her name to Gillian Budgets, I think it is, or something like that. So if you've not done it, Gillian, I think you did start it off, but I'd nominate you. And also Budgets and Dreams, the beautiful Jen. If you've done it or not, I don't know. So I'd nominate you. So there you go. Right, I'm going to love and leave yous, and I'm going to say until next time, ciao for now.